Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Hasan here, Vancouver Realtor, and I'm going to do a quick market update to begin the first quarter of this year. I understand it's February, but we're halfway through the first quarter, and there are some updates that I can give to you at this time. Stats Canada just released a set of statistics, and part of the statistics was talking a lot about what we're noticing feet on the street wise is a shift between buyers and actually moving between provinces. So myself personally as a real estate agent, believe it or not, I've had a lot of clients come to me here where I'm located in Vancouver and asking questions about other provinces, namely Alberta, in terms of potentially making a move. Now there's two types of clients out there. There are clients out there that are considering moves to other provinces because their work allows them to do it remotely. The cost of living, obviously, when you compare Vancouver, say, to Alberta, it's drastic. I think it's about 50% savings you would have if you moved to Calgary. Maybe less than that now, as Calgary has really picked up over the last month and a half or so. But you have a bunch of buyers that are now considering livability, affordability, and moving to a different location. But then the other thing you have that's driving up real estate, I would say, in these, I guess I would call them tier 2 markets in Canada. I'm sorry, Albertans and people in Saskatchewan, but tier 2 markets is all of these equity gainers and earners from Vancouver, from BC, from Ontario, from all of these other areas are now trying to figure out what they can do with their funds. For a lot of people, real estate is tried and true. They're not maybe as comfortable or familiar with the stock market. The stock market is in some influx right now. So for rookie investors, that's not often a place where clients with large sums of equity or large sums of cash, new investors are placing their money. They're often looking for real estate, which is a tangible asset. So, they're pulling this money, they're taking this equity, and they're shifting it to other provinces. There's been a lot of transfer of equity from Ontario especially to some of these other provinces, again, namely Alberta, Saskatchewan, even the Maritimes as well. So there's a shift of buyers, there's a shift of money through Canada. As equity increases in certain areas, it's getting kind of pushed to all the different provinces. So that was one of the first stats that came out. The other thing we just read the other day is that inflation is now over 5%. I think it was 5.1% year over year. That's the first time it's been over 5% in 30 plus years. And I really don't think it's a priority. It's something that the government can really get a handle on managing inflation. I don't think it's going to happen. Obviously, it's here to stay. And that's been another reason why we have people that have equity or they have cash and they're scrambling to put these into assets because asset values are being driven up so high that cash in the bank year over year is becoming worth less and less. And I think that's also why we're hearing a lot about cryptocurrencies and especially Bitcoin that has a finite amount of Bitcoin that can ever be mined. Whereas with the Canadian dollar or money, it seems that more can just always be printed. So when that happens, the value of the dollar decreases, and how valuable is your money if it's actually cash? So there's been, COVID kind of started this sort of perfect storm, if you will, between low interest rates, which I think were necessary when COVID started. But what that did is that it turned housing into even more of an asset class versus actually being shelter. And now we're in a scenario where people who had never been investors before, I'm getting a lot of clients come to me and say, look, I've never invested. I have this sum of equity. They may have only purchased in the last couple of years. What can I do with this money? And now we're getting some newbie investors into the real estate market. Because of that, I feel like in the next 12 months or so, we're going to see condos really see a rise in appreciation values because a lot of these equity earners, gainers are putting their money into the condo market. Definitely over the last few weeks, I've seen condos really pick up in sales volume and pricing as well. One of the nice things for buyers that we're also seeing right now is there is an increase of inventory that is coming onto the market and that has come onto the market. We usually do see that in the spring. I think a lot of us real estate agents were nervous this year about whether we would see that uptick in inventory, but so far so good. New listings have hit. The photographers are very busy. The real estate photographers, they're all backed up with shoots, and that's one of the indicators we as real estate agents look at, is how busy are our marketing partners working on bringing properties to the market as well. And the last really quick stat I want to touch on, it's a national stat, but it's a month-over-month stat from December to January in terms of Canadian real estate pricing on average, and it went up almost 3%. It was 2.9% from December to January. It doesn't sound like a large number, but 3% on a month-over-month basis is actually incredibly high. It's a very high number. So year over year, we're up 20% plus. I think it was like 23% or whatnot. But month over month, we were up 3% from December to January. Now, the thought is, and I think it's pretty much common knowledge, that we are going to see interest rate hikes of some sort throughout the year. But I'm really wondering, and I'm questioning what that really is going to do for the market. I mean, this is going to be something that we probably don't see any effects of until much later down the road. I don't think it's going to do so much for demand. Thankfully, we're starting to see again some more units hit the market. So maybe we'll see a bit of steadying there. I would say that in the detached home segment in certain areas, I'm monitoring, for example, Richmond very closely, and Burnaby as well. I'm feeling like we may be nearing some level of a top or a plateau. In terms of prices, I'm seeing sellers that are reaching for sky-high prices that they're not getting. I expect to see a lot of down arrows on the MLS shortly in the detached segment, which would indicate home sellers not getting the price expectations that they want and actually reducing prices to make sales happen. So there you have it, guys. That's a very quick Q1 2022 market update for you guys. If you learned anything in this video, I'd love it if you could like and subscribe to the video. What it does is it sends it out to more people so they can learn from it as well. If you need any real estate help from me, located in the Vancouver area, all my information is in the description box below. Outside of that, thank you for taking the time to watch, and have a wonderful day.